So welcome to today's episode of Hope Beyond. Today we are discussing healing while traveling and navigating eating out. And the reason, this is so important is as I was traveling, and many of you know, I spoke in London at the Get Hip About Your Health conference last week. And so shout out to everybody who was there, including my sister, my mother, my baby girl who got to hear, my godmother who got to hear me for the first time, and then my sisters in the UK, Nyasha and Sharice. It was amazing. We had a wonderful time. I will be sharing footage from that at a later time. But one of the things that really struck me on the road was that it really takes a warrior mindset to be focused on your healing wherever you are, okay? And again, fill in the blank here. Your healing, it may be your goal, your vision, whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish for your life. And for this group of people, we are really dealing with, of course, with our sisters in our Hope Sister Circle, sisters who are working to heal their lifestyles, their emotions, their relational lives, heal themselves completely, specifically healing their bodies from the effects of estrogen dominance that has developed in their lives from the toxicity that came through stress, diet, and pollutants, and developed and manifested into things like fibroids, infertility, PCOS, endometriosis, irregular periods, severe cramps, severe bleeding, weight gain that you really can't get rid of around your midsection, everything from hot flashes and migraines. These are all things that are actual symptoms of estrogen dominance. So many of you may say, well, Gessie, I don't have fibroids. But wait a minute. But that doesn't mean you don't have estrogen dominance, because estrogen dominance, which is the root cause of these things, reveals itself in things like I said, an irregular period, weight gain that's stubborn around your midsection. A lot of women don't realize that what you've called normal for the longest time in terms of a cycle has actually been really irregular. For instance, women think that they're, when they go through several pads in a day, like that's normal. But the truth is, you really should be only bleeding about a tablespoon. So any women can on this call right now can say, oh yeah, I only bleed, I only like spot. Your cycle's supposed to be more like spotting, okay? Anybody have that experience? Anybody? See, that's what I think. That's what I thought. Most people don't have that experience. So many women, most women, in fact, when you look at the statistics, right, I say 110 million women, yes, a tablespoon. That's right. 110 million women is the number that I love to rally around, because that represents 70% of women at large who are battling fibroids by age 50. And those women are really, that statistic is huge, right? Yeah, good for you. It's actually, cousin, it really is that you're supposed to you're only supposed to be like spot around your cycle. You're not supposed to hemorrhage and bleed so heavily. And when your body is doing that, it's because estrogen dominance is present. So you may not have the tumors, but you have the disease, the estrogen dominance that's present, that's actually can develop into polycystic ovarian syndrome, fibroids, endometriosis, infertility, ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, and more, breast cancer and more. So we encourage you to deal with the estrogen dominance even before it becomes symptomatic. And if you are symptomatic, absolutely tackle it. So let's go back to becoming healing warriors. So your healing is going to take you having a warrior mindset, okay? When you look at how the toxicity enters your life, remember we talked about stress, diet, and pollutants. And one of the key things that I find while traveling is that you are really engaging the stress factor, because many times you don't know what to eat, or you're on the go and there's the There's the pressure of traveling, which can be fun, obviously, right, when you're vacationing. And, again, we just came from me speaking in London and then having vacation time with my family, a family vacation in Prague with my mom for her 65th birthday, with my sister, my godmother, my godson, and, of course, my baby girl. And it was wonderful. But one of the things, the pressures I found was, is the pressure of trying to get everything done so you barely sleep, right? So that causes stress on your body. And it's not a stress as in an anxiety, but it's a stress as in it's a pressure, fun pressure, right? How do you deal with that? Number one is reminding yourself over and over, and I found myself doing this all the time, over and over, that things are as they should be. Don't try to rush things. Don't try to be in the moment. Don't try to be somewhere else or anticipate where you should be or doing something else or thinking about the next thing you're supposed to be doing. But be in the moment. Really, in coaching, we call it dance in the moment. All right? Dance in the moment. Celebrate and embrace where you are and rest in that moment. Because, I got to be reunited with my UK sisters, and I just took time to just enjoy and soak up the joy of those moments where my sister Cherise and my baby girl were playing for the first time, her baby RJ, my nephew, and my daughter. Like, I just soaked up those moments. I didn't allow myself to think, okay, wait a minute, we got to get to go see this, the sightseeing, we got to go get to Big Ben, we got to get to Westminster Abbey. Like, I didn't think about that. I said, let's focus on the moment and enjoying and embracing the power of the moment that you're in. See, when you take time to be present in the moment that you're in, you actually surrender. You're surrendering to that moment. You're surrendering to the joy of it. And you're receiving the blessing of that moment, right? Conversely, when you're dealing with things that actually pressure you with anxiety, even in that moment, what we have to do, whether it's a joy or something that you're fighting, you want to actually be in that moment. And what I ask is, God, give me the grace for the moment. Sometimes we say we need, it's one moment, one day at a time. Well, sometimes we need to ask God for grace for one moment at a time. And we have to stop and pause. Pause to breathe. Pause. I have a timer on my watch. If you have the Apple Watch, there's an app called Breathe. And it stops me every 2 hours to take a time to breathe. And many times that's the time to do a body check. You do a body check. Do a body check with me right now. Make sure you're sitting up and you check in and say, okay, are my shoulders tight? You ever find yourself, you're like this, like your shoulders are elevated up into your ears, you're like this, even when you're on your phone, put it down and relax. Let go of the stress in your hands. Many times your hands will be clenched, or your chest will be tight. And you release throughout the day. Take time to release the stress. Take time to breathe in, hold it, and then breathe out. And when you are releasing that stress, what you are doing throughout the day is you are allowing your body to stay in healing mode, right? Because you're releasing the toxicity. You're releasing that cortisol. You're not allowing your body to store it, okay? So, again, with the stress piece, dance in the moment. Embrace the moment that you're in. Rest in the moment that you're in. Don't try to live in the past or in the future. Anybody agree with me there? Does that resonate with anybody? You guys are mighty quiet. Do I need to ask you questions? Are y'all still with me? Give me some hearts. Give me some love. Let me know that you're with me here. And then the diet thing. The diet thing, which is huge when you're traveling. Because I kept finding, well, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? Thank you. Thanks for the love. Thank you for the love. What I started to do, number one, is in advance of the trip, I actually prepared by packing things that I knew would travel well. So, for instance, we have a travel meal plan for the women in our Beyond Fibroids Elimination Program. And if you don't have it, then you inbox me. All right, so it's a travel plan in the Beyond Fibroids Elimination Program where what it tells you are the things that you can eat on the road that you can pack up in your bag. Like I always pack hemp seeds. In fact, do I have access to hemp seeds right now? Ooh, I don't see it right here. Anyway, a bag of Nutiva organic shelled hemp seeds. I take the big bag, I pack that up. Because I can always have that. That is a major source of protein and iron, okay? And you want to make sure you're getting your minerals on the road. So protein is big, so I have that with me because I can add it to my fruit. I can have it, I sprinkle it onto whatever I'm eating, have it with my fresh fruit. And then I'll have either, I posted about it, I brought organic shelled, I think it was salted, but it was pumpkin seeds are great to travel with. Another thing you'll see is black mission figs. They're the dried black mission figs, organic black mission figs that are great to travel with, as well as seasoned salt. I travel with Chef Aki's organic seasoned salt so that I know when I go someplace, I can ask them to hold their salt. Unless they have sea salt, I'll ask them. But I'll hold their salt and I'll use my seasoning and I'll sprinkle it on top. So you have to be prepared, right? A warrior comes with his own or her own armor. A warrior doesn't come to the battlefield and say, oh, wait a minute, do you have anything to cover me? A warrior comes with her own armor. So you have got to come with your armor ready to protect yourself so that you are empowered and equipped to win. All right? So again, traveling with things. And then, for instance, when I got on the plane, I brought my breakfast or my food for the plane with me, which was half of a cantaloupe. When I went through security check, they did check my bag. They were like, oh, I said it must be the cantaloupe that set it off. Cantaloupe, meaning they pull me to the side where they have to go through your bags. I was like, yeah, that's my food for the plane. And it was fine. Like, they didn't open it or anything. They saw I had it in a Ziploc bag, cut open in half, and I had scooped out the seeds. So I knew when I got into the plane I was just going to put my hemp seeds in there and eat it away just like a cereal bowl. Delicious, filling, refreshing, and so healing for your body. Whether it's honeydew, cantaloupe, mango, kiwi. I actually traveled with avocados. Avocados are great. Cut them open, scoop them out. You can always add some sea salt, get some blue corn chips. I also traveled with blue corn chips. I've traveled with plantain chips. What you want to do is make sure you look at the ingredients. Okay, look at the ingredients label. And with the plantain chips, I always look for it. It should only have 3 ingredients: plantains, palm oil usually it'll have, and then it'll have sea salt. If it doesn't have sea salt, that means they're using regular salt, which is more inflammatory, so I don't get that. I'll look for the ones that have sea salt. There are a couple of brands out there, like Inca is a good brand. I just posted about a new one earlier this week. It's called Tropic something, a Tropic, I think it is. But just look up plantain chips with sea salt on Amazon. It's on Amazon. I know I have a fresh batch coming this week. And then there's the blue corn chips. Tostitos makes a good brand. There's so many different. Even Utz has a brand of organic blue corn chips, so you can find them pretty much anywhere. And I pack that in my luggage, and so that if I need, I can make guacamole on the go. I can make literally just avocado with seasoning, and it works. It works. So the question is, again, what are you going to do to prepare yourself? Have things on the road. Have things in your bag. And then when it comes to just everyday traveling, I always have either coconut water with me. This happens to be the one I ordered from Amazon. It's organic. You always want to look at the labels. The labels will tell you there shouldn't be anything else added. Ingredients: organic coconut water. That's what it should say. Really. No, I don't worry about the carbs with the chips and other things, because remember, Monica, we're living. I'm actually, I need them because I don't eat meat. I'm not eating chicken. I'm not eating any kind of flesh. It's a vegan, and actually fibroid free is even an estrogen free diet. So I actually get it's a plant-based diet, and because it's a plant-based diet, those are only healthy sugars, healthy carbs are only going there, because that stuff is going to shred the fat anyway. The tissue that comes from the stuff that you gain from what you call inflammatory foods. Okay, inflammatory foods are going to be those things that drive up your white blood cells count, and that's going to be everything that's outside of a plant-based diet that's estrogen free. Plant-based alone doesn't mean it's estrogen free, because there are a lot of things vegans eat, like soy and seitan and all these things that actually are inflammatory, because they're still estrogenic, as well as some of them are nitrogen based, and they're still toxic for our bodies. So really, weight gain and weight loss is not even something you worry about when you're really focused with a plant-based diet, because your body really it normalizes to it's not dealing with inflammation anymore, right? And much of your weight gain, sisters, is actually inflammation. Much of it. I have a family member who did the 14-day liquid fast recently and lost so much weight because it was mostly inflammation. It was tackling, it shredded that, really broke down that inflammation. So again, going back, coconut water. I always have coconut water because of the high potassium level. If I'm out on the road and I don't have time, I don't want to allow myself to be in this place where I feel like I just got to eat something and I just got to eat whatever's around, because that is where we actually put ourselves in a bad position. So I always have my coconut water in my bag. I have things like I said, either some plantain chips, some blue corn chips, definitely some Brazil nuts were something I was traveling with. I found that while I was on the road in Prague. I got some Brazil nuts, and again I had black mission figs with me, some pumpkin seeds. I had hemp seeds. And then when I went out to eat at restaurants, what I did was, the very first thing I did is I looked at the menu. Here's the deal. Many of my Hope sisters don't go to a restaurant thinking, what am I going to get on the menu? Because you're going to feel disheartened, because none of the meals are prepared in a way that actually are going to meet your nutrition guidelines. They're not going to fit your healing plan. So don't come in with that mindset, because then you'll feel defeated, all right? But you come in with a strategy. And your strategy is, many times if I go somewhere where I'll have no idea what they're going to have for eat, I prepare and I actually eat something before I leave. That's one thing, right? So I try to eat something. I cook, like I went somewhere for, it was an Easter celebration. I ate my meal before I left, right? So I prepared myself. Healing warriors, prepare. Get your armor on, okay? Number 2 is, before, when you go somewhere and you're going to go out, sometimes it's impromptu and you're going for the fellowship, or it's business meeting. One of our Hope sisters was telling me yesterday, for her job, she has to do a lot of business meetings, and there are a lot of lunch meetings and dinner meetings. I said, well, here's it is. You need a strategy. And the strategy is, just like I did when I was on the road in Europe. I looked at the menu. I said, okay, let me see, what vegetables do they have? And, in the fibroid elimination plan, there's a list of do and do not eat foods. And I have that on my phone, and I look at, what are the do eat vegetables and fruits? What are the do not eat vegetables and fruits? And I look at them and I say, okay, what things are in the clean 15, which means that irregardless of whether or not they're organic, they are more prone to being better for you than anything on the Dirty Dozen. If you're not familiar with the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15, just Google that. Every year, there's a release of fruits and vegetables that are on the Dirty Dozen list and the Clean 15. The Dirty Dozen list means that you don't ever want to eat those fruits and vegetables. Hi, hey. Stop it. I did not just come from a gala. I have a long day ahead of me. You need to stop, Queen. Anyway, I love you. The Dirty Dozen and the Queen 15 is very important for you to know, because those things that are in the Dirty Dozen list are things you don't want to eat unless they're organic, such as apples. They're high on the Dirty Dozen list. They're like number 1. Blueberries. They're things that, again, just Google it. Do a screenshot of that, put it on screenshot of that, and then what I do is I cross-reference that. cross-reference that with my do eat and my do not eat list. And then there are things you'll find, like, so when I went to, when I was at a dinner in Prague, I had them, they created me something where it was zucchini. They had zucchini, they had string beans, green beans. They had, what else was it? Red cabbage, okay? And another place, they had lentils, they had black lentils, they had quinoa, okay? So I had them make something up for me. You got to be bold. Healing warriors are bold. You don't be afraid to fight for your, yes, dinner in Prague. Yes, it was amazing. And the chefs, they were happy to make something for me because they realized they didn't really have anything that met my nutrition guidelines. But they were willing to, you know, in some places they may not have a chef that comes out and gives you something. So you find out, hey, what vegetables do you have? Let me get steamed string beans, steamed Brussels sprouts. You know, let's do some steamed red cabbage, some steamed cauliflower, right? Let me have some, they always have cantaloupe and melons. You know, you can have those because those actually preserve really well with regards to pesticides, so they don't have to be organic. You could have had some plantains. There's so many things you can ask for and have them prepared for you. Just steam the vegetables. And again, break out that pink salt in your bag swag, whether it's that or the Chef Aki organic sea salt, and season away, add that little flavor to your veggies and your fruit, and you are good to go. You're good to go. I mean, I sat there, I did not ever have one day where I was having an issue with eating because wherever I went, it was my strategy. It was my mindset. So, and remember, another thing, sisters tell me, well, I don't want them asking, well, why aren't you eating? That you make no apologies for your healing. Because let me tell you something. When you are dealing with your health issues, no one's going to stand there and deal with it for you. Okay? They're not going to stand with it. They cannot take your place on that hospital bed. They can't take your place on that operating table. They can't take your place. So don't you make any apologies for your healing. Don't you make any apologies for what you do to heal your body. All right? To get in alignment with the process that God has placed for your body to heal. Don't you make any apologies for it. So you be unapologetic. Like, you know, I think about David. And when Saul tried to get him to put on his armor, he was like, you know what? I can't fight with this. I got to put on my armor. Don't you be ashamed of your armor, okay? Because you're fighting a battle. You're fighting for your healing. And because you're fighting for your healing, you take no prisoners. You take no prisoners. And you have to be bold. Be bold. Yeah, stand strong and stand firm in your walk. And this is a spiritual thing first. Thank you, Danielle. Danielle is one of our miracle baby mamas. Yes, miracle baby. I see how I called you that. Miracle baby mama. She has the most amazing miracle baby, Charlie, who is Charlie Monet. Now that's a diva name, Charlie Monet, who was born on October 12th after she started the program in January and battled infertility, unable to conceive for 12 years. So shout out to Danielle, who is up on here. Yes, Danielle. Praise God. Thank you, girl. You just gave me a boost right there. But back to what I was saying, what you want to understand is that your healing is your responsibility. It's God's job. So don't take, now hold on. While you're taking on that responsibility, don't take on the pressure of healing your body and thinking you're doing the healing. Okay? So it's your responsibility to surrender, but it's God's job. Because he said, some plant, some water, I give the increase. He's the one. So you don't take on that pressure and that stress of thinking that healing is your job. It's your responsibility to surrender to God. It's your responsibility to surrender to his process, right? To live in light of what he has revealed to you. But it's his job to make it happen. So the process is the healer. You surrender to the healer and his process in your body. All right? So yeah, because I say that because so many times I find sisters like, oh, I'm doing everything right. I'm doing everything right. I said, listen, wait a minute. Surrender. let it go. Submit yourself to the process. Rest in the healer's hands. Rest in your healer's hands, because he's the one that makes it come to pass. He's the one that causes our bodies to operate miraculously. He's the one that designed us before the worlds were framed. So never forget that. It's your responsibility, but it's God's job. He does the healing, okay? Yes, congrats, Danielle. Shout out to Danielle. So going back, so I talked about being prepared, right? Being prepared, having the strategy, traveling while you are focusing with this healing mindset. The other thing I find is that many people are thinking, they're under this mindset that, oh my God, I have to eat something right now. Like one of the things I did, I traveled with my supplements. I got the 2-ounce bottles of the supplements with the program so that they could be in my purse while I traveled. And I made sure maybe I took an extra dose, because one of the things it provides is like a liquid meal. So if you know you're going to be out extra time, you take an extra dose of the supplements, because it's going to provide the minerals that you need. See, because many times we're stuffing our mouth thinking, oh, I'm going to faint. But the truth is, you're not even giving yourself the nutrients that you need. You're really just giving yourself calories many times. You're giving yourselves calories that are not actually nourishing, healing your body. All right? So remember, zero tolerance for toxicity, zero tolerance for things that actually damage you and don't heal. You want to heal, not hurt, right? Your body. Heal, not hurt. So make sure that you are empowered with the information. You have the information at your tips. Like I said, with me, I make sure that I have the list of the do and do not eat foods on my phone, because sometimes I may not think of something, like I hadn't thought about, oh yeah, I could have Brussels sprouts, or oh, you know, they made zucchini noodles for me in Prague. They made zucchini noodles for me. I was like, yes, it was delicious. You know, they had seasoned salt. I had them use basil and thyme, all herbs that are great for you, right? Turmeric and cayenne and ginger. These are things that bring life and healing to your body. But many times you don't think about it, and the chef won't think about it, and it won't be on the menu. But you are the one who's responsible for your healing. So you come into the table with a plan. You come to the table with a strategy. You say, well, Gessie, you know, they may not have all the vegetables. They usually have fruit. Even when you go to a diner, they'll have cantaloupe. They'll have that mixed fruit cup. And you'll say, hey, can I just have the cantaloupe and honeydew? On the plane back, I actually, the other thing is when I touch down, sidebar, when I touch down, wherever I go, I look for a health food store, a grocery store, or just a regular grocery store. Like when I got to Prague, I went to the Billa grocery store, and I got my cantaloupes for my hotel room. I got, actually they had organic apple juice. They had, what else did they have that I purchased there? Oh, there I found hemp seeds while I was out of town, because I did run out, okay? And I made sure I had something in my room. I had organic kiwi. I found organic avocado and kiwi in London. So you want to, again, get yourself some supplies. Get yourself some reserves. David had his smooth stones, right? He had his own armor, and he had his 5 smooth stones. You got to get your go-to things that you eat. He only needed 5 smooth stones, and he only had he only needed one that worked, right? So what's in your slingshot? What are you going to put? Get your go-to things. For me, the go-tos where I know I can always find cantaloupe, I can easily find organic avocado, and avocado doesn't always have to be organic. Coconut, you can usually find coconut doesn't have to be organic. It's ideal, but doesn't have to be organic, all right? Again, knowing those things and the travel meal plan, and if you inbox me, if you don't have it, ask me for it, okay? But you have to subscribe to Gessie TV, Gessie TV on YouTube, where this will live after Facebook. Okay. Also, what did I say? So go to the grocery store. As soon as you touch down, I go to the grocery store, I get supplies, so that you have things to carry with you. You have your reserves. Get your go-tos, my 5 slingshot. things: coconut water, hemp seeds, fresh fruit, specifically like cantaloupe or honeydew, avocados, and plant chips tend to be, those are like my 5 key things I try to make sure I always have, because that way I won't feel like I need to give in to something just to put something in my stomach. And my supplements, always my supplements. So going back, the other thing is not feeling like you actually have to give into, like, here's the deal. If you mess up, which you will many times, or sometimes you'll intentionally say, you know what, I'm going to allow myself to have something. Sometimes I'll say, I'm going to allow myself to have one cheat, whatever it may be. Maybe it'll be a dessert or whatever. Do not crucify yourself. This is a lifestyle. It's not a race. This is a long game, darling. This is not a short sprint. It's the long game. And you may feel like, oh, I messed up. Well, get back on the horse again. Or you'll feel the effects. First thing you want to do is probably want to do a dry fast the next day, right? If you feel like, because a lot of times the signs will be you'll start to feel congested, you may feel a sore throat, you may get a headache. These are symptoms that you ate something that you shouldn't have, right? And we all, even when we're on the road, these are things that even if it's not messed up, you may just be doing the best with what you have. So doing the best with what you have, you want to make sure to balance that by giving yourself an opportunity for your body to heal and purge that toxicity, right? Whatever was toxic. So, mind you, meat, all that stuff is not even on the scale. I was telling my a girlfriend yesterday, one of our Hope sisters, I said, I remember one of my first trips on the program when I had converted myself before we released the program. I was talking to Dr. Amun. I was in the airport. I was like, I'm hungry. I need something. And I was messaging him pictures of ingredient labels. I was like, can I eat this? What is this on a scale of 1 to 10? And he was like, in terms of bad, it's about an 8. I was like, 8? I said, hold on. Isn't meat like a 10? He was like, oh, no. Meat is a 20. Okay? So don't even put meat on your cheat list. Meat is a 20. Flesh is a 20. So I was like, oh, okay. That reframed my thinking. I reframed my thinking. And I said, okay, let me go back. So plant-based thinking here. Okay? It's free. So going back, when I thought about what do you do? What do you do if you've eaten something that you know is not agreeing with you? Typically speaking, the next day, I'll do a fast. I'll do a dry fast, which is, to me, the easiest. So you go from sunup to sundown, where you only take your supplements. For us, we just take our supplements sunup to sundown. And that'll be like, I take the supplements 3 times a day. So I'll take it in the morning, I'll take it in the afternoon, and you have nothing else by mouth. No liquids, no food, nothing. And honestly, you start to feel how you're giving your body a chance to rest. And it makes sense because, I'll round back, let me finish. So your body rests and focuses on healing, okay, eliminating the toxicity. And by sundown, I have my next dosage of my supplements, and I break it, and I'll have a glass of essential water, my alkaline water, the best water, essential. I absolutely love it. Have that water, and then a water-based fruit. Usually it'll be like cantaloupe or honeydew or mango or kiwi or black seeded watermelon, which I never find. I'm so jealous of y'all down south. Prior to my lifestyle change, I suffered grief. Oh, I'm sorry. See, Monica? Yeah, that's what happens. We think we're doing ourselves a favor by like saying, I'm going to allow myself, but then you realize how much you pay for it afterwards. But sometimes we need that lesson to let us know that the healing lifestyle really is making a difference, and it actually does work. So sometimes we need those lessons. Take that as a lesson and you roll with it, right? So what I did was, again, with the going back to the dry fast day, sun up to sundown, just your supplements, and then so no food, no drink. Sundown, you have your supplements, you have your a glass of water, you have your essential water, you have your water-based fruit, and then a meal from our elimination meal plan. Okay, and that's how you end the day. And then if you do a 2-day back-to-back, depending on how you're feeling, you may need to do 2 days. Back to back. Usually that one day will you'll feel amazing. And let me give you the medical sidebar on this. When I was in the hospital because I had, fibroid surgery and then ensuing some sort of complication where I had an obstruction and I had to have small bowel surgery, the first thing they did when they knew there was a breakdown in my small intestines is they actually put me on something called the NG tube. And any medical professionals out there know the NG tube is, I call that thing, I say it's from hell. I hate the NG tube. Like, I hate it. It's a tube about this big, goes up your nose. You have to swallow it down. They put it in while you're awake, where you have to swallow it down. And you feel that thing coming down your throat into your stomach. And for me, you know, I have a very small throat, so I felt that thing like right here kicking in my throat. But what the purpose of that NG tube is to literally stop your body from having to digest anything, because it's extracting all the fluids out of your body, okay? So that your body is no longer having to focus on digesting anything, so that it can focus on trying to heal. So even traditional medicine provides for that. Traditional medicine is letting you know that if I let my body focus on not digesting anything, they call it NPO, nothing by mouth, right? NPO. Oh, the supplements, you can get them, go to hopebeyondfibroids.com. You'll find them on the page that says Fibroids and Fertility. You'll find them on the right-hand side in the packages, okay? But they're Phoenix, the Essence of Fertility, and Rigid Ease. Let me speak about the supplements real quick. Okay, so the 3 supplements, main supplements in our program, and there are 2 others that are amazing that I use daily, are the Rigid Ease. You're welcome, my dear. The Rigid Ease, if you don't mind, will you put that in the link somewhere, hopebeyondfibroids.com, so people will go to there. But it's the Rigid Ease's job is to help optimize the function of your liver. What many people don't realize is when we are sick, it really is evidence that there is a breakdown in your liver's function, because your liver has been overrun with toxicity, okay? So your liver's been overrun, and now it's not able to do its job, right? So that's why toxins are actually overflowing and causing breakdowns in your body, like fibroids, like polycystic ovarian syndrome, like other things, like diabetes, like lupus, like high blood pressure, many other things that are happening in your body, okay? And so the Rigid Ease's job is to heal, optimize the function of your liver, okay? Thank you, Krista. And then the Phoenix, which is the second major supplement in our program, the Phoenix's job is to promote optimize the function of your lymphatic system, which specifically is to heal your body's, accelerate your body's ability to regenerate red blood cells and the red tissue. So healthy red blood cells create healthy red tissue, okay? So when you look at that, the red blood cells have to replenish what your body is eliminating, because if your body is eliminating toxicity, it's breaking down dead cells, it's breaking down dead tissue. It needs to now be replaced with healthy tissue, right? Well, healthy tissue comes from a high regeneration of healthy red blood cells, right? So that's what the Phoenix does. And then there's the Essence of Fertility. The Essence of Fertility's job is to inhibit the estrogen, so break down estrogen, and to increase your progesterone, which is actually the true female hormone, which drives your reproductive health, okay? So what you're going to find is when you're taking those 3, it is providing all the nutrients you need and also the minerals to really heal. Specifically also for my sisters who are dealing with anemia, we have a supplement called Anemia. That's job, it literally is to help you naturally grow, increase, build your blood count, okay? Because a lot of sisters who are dealing with fibroids or some sort of reproductive irregularity are bleeding heavily. Again, you're not supposed to bleed any more than a tablespoon. So if you're bleeding more than that, your body's fighting anemia as it is. And then the Sweeper, which is, this is another supplement which I love because it just heals your digestive system. So all of that you can find right at hopebeyondfibroids.com. Specifically on the page that says Fibroids and Fertility, there is a link that says at the navigation bar up top, Fibroids and Fertility. You'll learn about the program. And hey, schedule a consult with me. Download our free teleseminar, hopebeyondfibroids.com/elimination. Download the teleseminar. You'll get a lot more information than this. Many who are on here can attest, they've heard it, that it's really worth your time. So download the free teleseminar MP3, hopebeyondfibroids.com/elimination, and then schedule your free consult with moi at, here's a link, www.tinyurl.com/HBFE. Why am I using sign language? QA. Hope Beyond Fibroids Elimination QA. So, any questions? I think I've covered everything. To recap, stress levels. How do you deal with the stress of traveling? You dance in the moment. You stop. You're welcome, Anita. You stop and take time to actually just be in the moment that you're in. Don't live in the past. You don't live in the future. You take body check breaks every 2 hours. Check in with your body. See how you're feeling. Whether you see tension, are you tight? Breathe in, breathe out for a good minute to 2 minutes, and you'll find that as you release and you just embrace and just really practice this mindful minute, what you're going to find is that your body is relaxing. Your shoulders are relaxing. You're going to find tension in your neck goes. You're going to find, why is this important? Because as you're releasing this stress, you are releasing, oh goodness, y'all know each other? That's so cute. Anita and Monica. What you're going to find that as you're releasing that, you are releasing the stress that has tried to get stored in your body, because stress will store in your body and cause damage. So release the stress. Number 2, when it comes to traveling and navigating eating out, prepare yourself. So eat what you can at home. Prepare yourself, or wherever it is, before you go. If you're not sure what the options are going to be, don't go to a party hungry. Did your mom ever tell you that? It's like good manners. Don't go to a party hungry. Don't go to a dinner party hungry, because you don't want to feel like you have to give in to what's there at the table. So prepare yourself. Nourish yourself before you go. Now, if you don't have time to do that, always make sure you fill your bag, and whether have stuff at the office, have stuff in your car, stuff that is from your healing pouch. Your healing pouch. Remember David's pouch, his 5 smooth stones. What are your go-tos that you need to have with you whenever you are on the road? Whether you're just running errands for the day, or going out for business meetings, or you're actually traveling internationally, whatever you're doing, have your go-to items with you. For me, it's hemp seeds, cantaloupe of some sort, some fruit of some sort. Maybe I'll carry a mango with me, and I'll have, a knife and a spoon, whatever it is, or kiwi or avocado, whatever, some sort of fruit. Some black mission figs with me, and the dried black mission figs, organic black mission figs, the pumpkin seeds, organic shelled. Some of them are salted with sea salt, which are really yummy. They're amazing, and because they're a high source of protein, they're filling. That's the good thing about the pumpkin seeds and the hemp seeds. They're so filled with high sources of protein that they're filling, so you will actually feel nourished, okay? And then some sort of, either it's, Brazil nuts, plantain chips, blue corn chips, something else that you may feel, so that you have stuff with you. So that's your have stuff in your bag. And then make sure that you're wearing your own armor, right? Your own armor, meaning be bold and courageous and unapologetic about fighting for your own health on your terms. That this healing lifestyle, that you are a warrior, that's not you're not living based on somebody else's armor, okay? Meaning the lifestyle, the healing plan that you have surrendered to, that's your armor, okay? And you live in your armor. Be comfortable in your armor. Be unapologetic about your armor, all right? Because that is how you're going to win the battle. That's how you're going to slay that giant. That is how you're going to slay those fibroids, the infertility, whatever it is you're battling. You did, Anita? Okay, I will check into that. Thank you, sis. Be patient with me, because I was just traveling, and I had a ton of things that hit me coming back from being out of the country. But I will look for it. Will you resend it to me just so that it's top of mind? I would appreciate it, okay? And if you haven't, make sure to download the teleseminar and schedule your free consult with me so we can have a one-on-one combo, okay? So get ready. If you want to slay your giant, sis, if you want to slay your giant, you got to do it in your own armor, with your own weapons, right? With the right mindset and strategy. That's your battle plan. All right, I think that's all I have for you guys. Do you have any questions? I'll take any questions before I go. Any questions? Thank you for being, first of all, allowing me to walk and be with you guys. I was telling the sisters this week how honored I am. It's not fair I get to call this work because it's so much fun and it's such an honor and privilege. When I was talking to the sisters in London last week, I was like, you guys are my Ephesians 3:20. You know, when I looked at the plan, the 5-year plan, I didn't even know this existed, but God knew. And he worked all things. That's why I was playing that song. Marshawn, you got me playing intentional at the beginning of the video. I played it because I wanted you to know you have to be intentional about your healing, because God is intentional about the vision, the plan he has for your life, and rolling it out and manifesting it in your life, all right? And you have to be intentional about surrendering to that plan and living it out, because it's amazing. It's amazing. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Nicole. Welcome. So in case you missed this, it'll be available on replay. Please share it with others. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram, Gessie, T-U-G, Gessie, T-U-G. And I just launched a new page, Hope Beyond Fibroids, on Instagram. So I appreciate you supporting and sharing that information. Follow me on YouTube, because these videos will live on YouTube. Gessie TV, Gessie TV. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. And hey, Natasha! Oh, thank you, sis. I'm so glad. It was great. 2 of my sisters. So one of my London sisters, Natasha, who I was with. I miss you guys. I was looking at the pictures. I'm going to be sharing pictures online. There's so many amazing pictures. I haven't gotten to sharing them yet, but I'm going to be sharing Natasha more, one of my UK sisters. We got to spend some quality time, and I'm so glad that God allowed us to have that time. And I was able to dance in the moment and just be with you guys and enjoy and celebrate and receive the blessing of the moment. So today, receive the blessing of today. Don't live in yesterday. Don't live in tomorrow. Receive the blessing of the moments God gives you every day. All right? I know. I miss you guys. Oh my goodness. Can't wait to come back. So you guys be planning. Somebody in the UK be planning to bring me back. I gotta come back. Okay? I love you guys, and if there aren't any questions, please, again, download the Hope Beyond Fibroids Elimination Teleseminar at hopebeyondfibroids.com/elimination. Schedule your Q&A call with me, your free Q&A call with me at tinyurl.com/HBFEQA. HBFEQA. And next week, again, is National Infertility Awareness and National Fibroids Awareness Week. So stay tuned for some cool stuff I'm going to be inviting you to do with me. Okay? I love you so much. Have an awesome Saturday. Goodbye. Hope Beyond.